Hey, before the run starts and my explanation later, I want you to check out Costa Vesta video. I want you to watch that first before watching this video. I go in depth about a lot of details about his video towards mine and some other stuff with it. So I highly recommend checking out his video. And OP, if you're seeing this, I apologize if I got your name wrong. I'm not the best pronouncer. Alright, thank you. No patience. Damn. Okay. Three seconds behind, exactly. Please. Please, Rand. I'm asking you. Very nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Alright, please, I beg of you guys, mercy, please. Oh my god. I'm not taking no risk whatsoever. No, come on guys. Come on guys, please. I'm just so close. Please. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'm the second one. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, what time is it? Okay. Today is March the 12th, and I beat it around 3:52 a.m. I don't plan on uploading this until like April or some shit like that. Oh, I've never been so happy. Yes! Yes! Oh, I gotta shout out somebody real quick. Let me shout out somebody real quick. If I can find him. Just give me 1 second. Why is this max mode easier than you think? If you check out that Costa Festa video I talked about, some of it I would say will come from the video, and the context you might be missing come from that video. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it now. But anyways, I will not be explaining everything like he got from his video. So if there's some parts that I did not mention, it's because he mentioned it first, and I'm not gonna repeat it. I wanna help fix or expand some of the points of that video real quick before I continue with the guide. The only claim I strongly disagree is that they are locked by the door, aka they won't jump scare you if you leave the locker while Toxin is in the room, which is wrong. I have countless of footage of me getting jump scared while waiting around. And maybe I just got very unlucky, but I swear this always happens. Or maybe there could be another thing where if you check the light or door, then their jump scares activate. But I really doubt on that one too. Now, the strat he talked about, that was like this only use. There's more uses to it. I just can't figure out what they are, but I swear they help you a lot. I highly recommend to do that strat. Like, it helps the run so much. I can't really describe it. It just does, and you just gotta trust it. He also mentioned something at the end when you see Toxin leave the locker, wait 13-14 seconds before going back in. I did more testing, and the max I was able to wait out before I got killed was like 12.5 seconds. Not 13, and he even mentioned that he made it through 16 seconds without getting killed, which I can't even imagine that. I recommend waiting 11 seconds minimum to 12 seconds max before jumping into the locker, but I will highly recommend to, when it hit the 11-second mark, to jump in. Now, I will mention something else, is that the earliest I've been killed by Toxin was like 9 seconds. Stolen for 9 seconds I get killed. And my theory why he killed me at 9 seconds is that he attacks at 1 minute increments. Let's say you hear him at the third phase, he's about to get you at a minute 45 seconds. You get in your locker by a minute 50 and he gets out. So you leave. So you're waiting for like 12 seconds, 11 to 12 seconds before you go back in the locker. And then suddenly he kills you around the 2-minute mark. And it's not exactly 2 minutes. He can kill you at 2:03 or 2:06 or around that area, depending on when you get out and you pass that minute marker. You know, if you don't go into the locker and you wait until he jump scares you, I didn't test this, I think he kills you at every minute. So he might drop the phase at 45 seconds, but I think he won't kill you until that minute marker, and that's probably the reason why he kills you when you're out the locker. But everything else in this video is correct, and you should definitely follow it. Now, you might be able to see his run versus my full run. On our differences, you might be able to pick up, and I'm going to talk about those few differences. First small one, I'm going to go in order, but the first small one is like, I don't really check on BB until I hear the accordion's loudest music notes. There is a very, very, very small chance, I cannot express how small, that he might never go into the vent. Never. And you want to save every ounce of that juicy power. And I'm not exaggerating, because you need to save every ounce of power. When checking lights, I wait every 5 seconds before I check the lights again. When you check the lights and an animatronic is at the door, close the door. But the difference between when he closes his door and when I close my door is that he leaves it closed. But for me, I follow this simple pattern. When I close the door, I open the door, I check lights, then I close the door if they're there. If they're not, then I just leave it open. And if there's 2 doors, when you're closing 2 doors, I just do it 1 door at a time. Like I'll do close door, open door, check light, and close door again on the right door, and then I switch to the left door and do the same thing. I did a little test run doing that. When one test run, I did closing doors, then opening doors for a minute straight, and it went down to 83%. However, I'll keep in mind this is both at 100. The both tests started at 100. Close the door and leave it closed for a minute straight, it dropped down to 70. So it does save power when you do that strat. And if you're worried about the jump scare part of it, I did it for a couple hours and I only got jump scared by it twice. It saves so much power for little risk, and it's highly recommend you do it. And that is one of the big reasons why it eliminates a lot of luck. It's because you save so much more power from it. Now during the run, if you're running out of power but you are not close to beating it, like you were at 3 a.m. with 15% left or 20%, 10%, whatever, I invented a new strat. I didn't do a lot of tests, but it could help you. I have little to no power, so I will luck out as long as I can. To put simply, when you close the door, instead of the strat I mentioned a minute ago, you just feel it out. Instead of checking lights, you just feel it out. And you're like, I think it's time to close it. Close it. That will help you save a lot more power if you're running out of power. Especially when you get to like 4 a.m. and you got like 3% or something like that. When you just got at 4 a.m. I believe if you can make it to 5 a.m. and still have a tiny bit of power left, or you just got to 5 a.m. with no power, you can probably luck it out and have no animatronics attack you. Because I think the longest they can go without jump scaring you is about a minute. But I went about 40 seconds without getting jump scare. So if you make it to 5 a.m. and you just barely pass 5 a.m. with no power left, there is a small chance you might be able to break through. And that's the reason why I want you to do that strat if you ran out power sooner than you expected. Now at the end of the run, I did the switching rooms thing where I went different room and room. I don't think it really helps you except for the very end. And why I did it, for me, is that I feel like the transition parts of it, at least when you're entering the room, or when you're seeing the room as you enter it, not when you're entering the room, you might be able to not get jump scared for a few more milliseconds if you just lucked out just a little bit more. And luckily, I didn't have to get jump scared, so I really don't know if that actually helps or not. But that's something also to be noted. Toxin is a fascinating character when doing this bug or glitch. You know, when he enters the room and you leave the locker. It's an interesting bug, and I mentioned he randomly kills you at 1 minute increments, but another thing I haven't told you about is how to avoid it. When you hear him at the third phase and he's about to get you, go to the lockers as soon as you can. I wouldn't worry too much about being jump scare because I feel like some of my runs, I think I had 1, maybe 2 runs, it ended because of toxins 1-minute increments. And if you jump the gun and get to the locker as soon as you can, you might be able to get him like in and out and do all that stalling thing before the next minute barrier hits. And I think that's so much more worth it to do it. So you can be able to use the max amount of time, which is 11 to 12 seconds, without feeling like you're about to get jump scared randomly. Now, there's still a bit of luck you have to deal with, which is BB. BB is a sick bastard and does whatever he wants to, which is very annoying. In my run, I didn't want to watch over my run like 300,000 times in a row, but I think I remembered that he only went in the vent once. And when you use the vent snare, it wastes about 5%. How can you counter this? How can you make him not go through the vent every time? Like, if you get him to the vent like 6 times, you'll be like, oh man, there's a way to get him go to the vent. Lucky for you, I have 2 things. Get lucky and have an attack by the door instead. Or get even more lucky and have him wandering around the building aimlessly for a long period of time. Which, in my run, I believe it had both. And that's where the luck happens. I think if I recall correctly, he barely touched my door on top of that as well. He just wandered around the entire time, which was very confusing when I was in that run. I don't know if you ever heard me, but I was very confused the entire time when he didn't touch my vent or door that much. I do not know the probability of it, but it had to be very extreme because I think that only happened once throughout the entire time I did it, and it so happened to be my winning run. When he detects a snare, I feel like the max you can be able to get away with it if your animatronics doors is feeling graceful is like 3 or 4 times. And then after that, I would start doing that I have little to no power, so I will luck out strat. Now, I would say the door animatronics feel not very, but somewhat scripted. And here's what I feel about it. This ain't true, it's just a feeling. I think I'm totally wrong, but I think it's a feeling. They get to the door around the same period as always can. The only difference is that when they appear by the door, that's where the luck begins. Is that how long they want to stay by the door. But I swear every time when they leave the door, they come back around the same time. And some of the animatronics are like the same ones. Like the brown one and the red one feel like they're the same ones. They just flip on their coding or something like that. Because every time around 50 seconds, I get killed by one of them two, and then sometimes BB, depending on if he wants to go to the door or not. I think that game probably drove me crazy to make me think about it, but I swear, that's not the only case. It's like the other case, it's like around the 2-minute mark, like past it, I think it's like 2:30-ish. I always get killed by Rosa around that point. I swear it happens. I think I might be going a little crazy, but someone needs to look into it. And what I said is right. You can save a lot more power figuring out their script. And the only thing you need to luck out is the door part. So that way you don't have to check the lights so often. But if I miss anything, I will comment below. Or if I have more information on some of the strats, I'll also comment below. Or I might throw it in the description instead. But anyways, thanks for watching.